clear, prop.
I think he's, I don't know, I'm sure he's nervous, of course, but I think he's okay. I was thinking about it this morning, like, he's a really smart guy, and I think he'll know what to do.
He's going to be by himself for the first time in the airplanes. He's going to have to make all the decisions, all the radio and the controls of the aircraft by himself, and he'll be doing 2 touch and goes and a full stop landing. So that's that first experience that he's going to have where he is in control of the situation 100%.
Just a minute.
Belmont Tower, Bonanza 369, Romeo Bravo is midfield, what's downwind? Yes, 9 Romeo Bravo, third line runway 34, traffic short final plus time. November Bravo.
Where's Bobby?
He's there, Abdullah. He's going to turn around now.
610, traffic's following Bonanza, midfield downwind 51.
Good decision. He was too high.
Wait, what?
He was too high. He's redoing the approach.
Is that okay?
But I mean, it's fine. You know, a lot of times when I'm up in an unfamiliar place or doing something unfamiliar, you do a go around the first one anyway, just to kind of judge, get a good look at everything. So. I don't know what he's feeling though, because he's kind of making a tight turn here. We'll just see what he thinks.
There are a lot of different reasons for people to want to fly. Many people want to fly just because they've heard about it. They think it's a great idea, we'll go give it a try. Some people like to fly for the adventure, the whole adventure idea of flying, just like some people ski for the adventure, or some people are boating for the adventure. Other people use it for their business, and other people use it for just for travel.
I had a choice between getting another car or kind of, trying to save the environment. And it's really cool because it gets me to work and back, and it gets like 90 miles to the gallon. So like I've had it for 3 months and I've only filled up gas like 1 time. So it's great. I love to drive along. The only thing is that you don't realize, how many people are so impatient about driving. You know, people are always trying to overtake me, and even though I'm going the speed limit. But I really enjoy it. It's only nice weather. I haven't taken out in the rain. I got the rain pants and everything, but I haven't done it yet. So it's kind of like Tom Cruise, but except for no leather jacket, no girls except for my wife. And yeah, the much slower bike, if you want to call it.
No, there's no Islamic Martha Stewart. But I would love to be that. What we're doing today is having shrimp cocktails. So sometimes if you are having a large crowd, besides Martha, I really owe a lot of this. Yeah. Oh, thank you, baby. Good idea. So, and these are my little placeholders. It has a little thingy. I'm gonna put a little paper to say what this is. Tomatoes, you know, chicken. Sit in.
And I can go back and do what I want to do. Stay home.
Great. Fly.
I'm gonna
frozen.
Okay. What am I gonna put the things in? My mother-in-law, she's like the greatest person at putting things together and making everything look really pretty, and I learned everything from her, really, except cooking.
Whoa, what happened? Chicken breast?
No, I put the...
Just leave it. No, open and leave it like separate.
Whew.
I'm just gonna put it on the side.
Yeah, okay, by the garbage can. We have 3 kids. Abdullah is 6 and Serene's 4 and Rayan is a year. And right now I'm just homeschooling. Living in a small town, we wanted them to kind of see our family and get a better grasp of what Islam is.
Allahu Akbar.
I was really nervous when we moved here because it's such a small town. And I remember Munim telling me, well, it's predominantly a white town, very small. And I was so nervous. And he's like, you know, you're going to be the only Muslim there probably, and you're going to stick out.
One of the reasons why I think that I didn't get into the Air Force Academy or because I never became a pilot was because of the ear. I was basically born with the ear that I have on my right side. When people used to ask me about my ear, it was either I'd tell them that I got caught in a lawnmower, or and sometimes I'd say like my dad chopped it off because I was lying to him, and Muslims are pretty strict about that stuff, and people would be like scared, and then they'll be like, oh no, that's not the case. I can go to sleep with noise around me because all I have to do is cover one ear and it's all muffled away. And so Iman gets upset at me because of that, because she'll be talking to me and I'll turn over and she'll be saying something. I'm like, huh?
The thing with Munim and I is we both come from 2 different cultures. So I'm Arab and he's Pakistani.
It wasn't easy to convince, her parents. My parents initially were okay with it, but then later on became a little bit of a problem.
So it was very hard to convince my dad that, this is the guy that I wanted to marry, and a lot of my family was against it because he wasn't Arab.
We have similar yet different backgrounds. Similar, obviously, both being brought up in America. We have similar cultures and stuff like that. But the difference in background is always, it's more felt obviously when we go visit family. When we go visit my family, she feels a little out of place. When I go visit her family, I feel a little out of place. So it's, but it's an adjustment. It takes getting used to. But it's not something I would trade.
I tease Munim now and I tell him, my parents love you more than they love me. And it's funny now because everybody loves him. Everyone that was against it is, they totally love him. So, and he's proved to be a great, great husband. One
of the major differences, I think, between our families is just the way, the interaction that we have between our families. My family is a lot more quiet, a lot more, very formal with each other. Whereas I think Iman's family is completely opposite. They're very, and not in a bad sense, but in a very loud. They show a lot of emotions.
High school was really not fun for me at all. Even though I was I was pretty active. Like I was our school's mascot and played sports and stuff. But in junior high and stuff, and even like for city leagues, but it was people, I mean, kids at that age are so mean, and they were really bad. I mean, I had a good group of friends, but it wasn't fun for me at all. You know, say names and call you the typical stuff, camel jockey and terrorist and, you know, all that kind of stuff, and raghead and...
Yeah, I just need the first part of this, and then all the rest of the information will be what your instructor fills out.
Okay.
And you can take this with you and bring it back if you like to read it, and then sign it and give it to me.
Okay.
And then fill this out here. And we've already got all your other information, as you well know, that we went through with everything, including the FBI, to get you in here.
So the FBI approved me, huh?
They approved you.
All right.
The fact that the FBI came by to ask about him wasn't necessarily a big deal, except that it is the only person that we've had in the flight school that they ever came by and asked about. So I guess from that standpoint, it would be a big deal. And I think we were surprised that that happened, and we're not sure why they came by. They never said. Of course, they're not very forthcoming people anyhow.
Great. I'll put that in your files, and you just need to sign it. Who is your instructor again?
Matt.
Matt? Okay.
I've been here about 2 months, but you know, I've gotten to go up quite a few times a week, so yeah, I'm very familiar.
Right, and then the only last thing is that you know, how many hours did you say you had?
About 400.
Okay, but how old are you?
22.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I figured maybe you weren't even around for 400 hours to get to 400.
So basically, the first thing that you want to do is, as you approach the aircraft, is just check the general condition of the aircraft, looking at the tires, just to make sure that there's not a lot of oil. So you'll be flying in the left seat, and I'll be sitting in the right. Everywhere, fuel leaking anywhere. Also, you just want to check the overall condition of the surface, make sure it's not dented, anything like that.
But this one is not, it's fine.
That's fine. If the doors are hanging open. The main thing that you want to remember is to put that fuel cap back on. You rotate it until there should be some numbers there. You can see. Oh. Some things that I am going to check are the oil and the fuel.
Okay.
And so don't be insulted by that.
Sure,
it's just something that I want to do to make sure that I'm safe as a pilot also.
Your life too. Yeah.
Right. Get that master switch back on, if you could. Okay. Thank you. Do you guys see any fuel on the ground? It's drip. There is.
A little bit. Just get out.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Where's Mama? No, there was some leak in the fuel.
Oh.
So better now than on the
Yeah.
on the thing.
Oh.
And it's an old plane. It's like, oh, remember the first time I flew? It's older than that. It's about it's like missing
But is
screws.
that, well, is that the one you're going to test on?
Yeah.
Are they going to break?
On the front where the engine goes. You know how you screw in the bolts? There's some of the bolts missing. And so he said it was
Are you being serious?
Yeah. That's serious.
I think you should try to get another plane. Maybe you can borrow someone's.
Borrow?
Yeah.
Like what? Like you can't borrow. It's not like a car you can just borrow.
Well, no,
It
like...
has to be from the flight school.
I mean, but does it have to be their plane?
They have to go to a different flight school then. And the other one already said no.
Okay, I know, but you can't borrow someone's plane to you. What if you had your own plane, but you didn't know how to fly yet and you wanted to use your plane?
Why would I want to buy a plane if I didn't know how to fly?
No, borrow someone's plane.
Iman took it pretty well. You know, I think she's pretty nervous in general about doing this, and But I think, maybe I should stop telling her a lot of stuff that's going on. In Bellingham, there's only 2 flight schools. The first one that I went to looked very professional, and they had some really nice planes. So I went to them and said, "Hey, I want to learn how to fly." And so they brought me into a conference room. They sat me down. They asked me a bunch of questions, and they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll get back to you." And I never heard back from them. So we went to the second flight school, and they were great. They were like, "Oh yeah, this is a great idea. You should really do this, and we have the planes for it, and we'll go and do it." And so when they said yes and they signed me up for it, that's when the FBI showed up. And so when I asked this flight school that I'm currently with right now, what really happened, they said, well, the other flight school was the one who called the FBI. And there was no questions asked. It was like, okay, we'll get back to you. And then they didn't ask me anything more. They just called the FBI. And I think that's one of the things I'm more upset about than anything else. I think they should have asked. They should have asked more questions. There's probably a significant difference between the 2 flight schools. I mean, if you look at one of them, the one that I'm not with, they looked a lot more professional. They had better planes, newer planes with better equipment. And the current flight school, it's great. The people are wonderful. They really know their stuff, but they're a little bit more laid back.
Well, I have to have a hug.
Huh?
I have to have a hug.
Okay.
I'm very proud of you for sticking with this. It seems like it's been a long journey.
The bad part of it's been is that they have a lot more older planes. They're safe because obviously the maintenance are done on them, but again, they have problems. We have problems starting up the plane sometimes when it's too cold outside, and so going out there, setting everything up, and then not being able to go out, it's kind of a waste of time. And so those are hurdles that I have to face with this flight school that possibly I wouldn't have had to face with the other one. What's going to happen to me if I'm up in the air and something happens? One thing to have the plane not start when you're on the ground, but what happens if I'm up in the air and something goes wrong? I'm a new student, so I don't know what to do, and hopefully my instructor does, but maybe not. He's never been in an emergency either. I work for Saturna Capital, and we manage the Amana Mutual Funds. I have like a dual role here at Saturna. Two titles. One of them is Director of Islamic Investing, and the second one is Deputy Portfolio Manager. On a typical day of work, I basically manage portfolios. We have about 30 portfolios that we have, and also as we've opened up more offices nationwide, I'm now beginning to manage staff, making sure they're doing their job. When I'm going out and I'm talking to the community, the Muslim community, about Islamic investing, I have to do that over the weekend because that's when they come to the mosque. And so normally it's a weekend travel, and so I try to make it about 2 weekends a month, but sometimes it gets up to 3 and sometimes even four times a month. More and more people are becoming aware of what they can do as far as Islamic investing, and I'm happy to help them or educate them about that.
You're becoming a pilot?
Yes, I am.
And you must be having troubles doing that. Yeah, how's that going?
Yes, part of this idea of becoming accepted in America is actually doing what Americans do, and part of that is becoming a pilot. No, actually, just my dad was actually a commercial pilot for 36 years, and so it's always been a dream of mine to be able to do that. Now, I come from a couple of very large cities, Houston and Dallas, where when you get caught up in city life, you don't have time for anything else. And so when I came to Bellingham as an American, I thought, hey, that would be great if I could learn how to fly again. Now, there's a lot of perceptions that are out there. This type of speaking I do probably once every month or once every 2 months, specifically talking about Islam to non-Muslims. I normally can give speeches all the time about through work and stuff like that, but this gives me an opportunity to do that, and I really enjoy doing it. It gives me an opportunity to really speak my mind and I can see people connecting. It's challenging to be here at this time when you constantly turn the TV on and you hear about this is what Muslims are doing and this is what Islam is. So how do I, as a Muslim living in America, go about changing that perception? There are certain questions every time I'm in a crowd that people ask me, and it really makes me cringe and try to say, well, I wish they wouldn't have asked me that question. And generally those questions have to do with the role of women in Islam or having to do with what's in the Quran regarding women. Would a woman be able to lead the prayers?
Like you said before, somebody can step forward and lead
yes.
the prayers for the group?
Right. The very, very simple answer is no. It generally doesn't happen. And majority of people will tell you absolutely no way, before hell freezes over, there's no women's going to ever lead the prayer. That is...
Sounds like the Catholic religion.
If this room was completely women and one man, when I address you in the Arabic language, I would address you in the masculine. That's not a derogatory thing, that's just how the language was created. They're like, well, why wasn't it translated properly, and those type of things. And those things are very, very difficult to really answer as far as really getting across the message that, yes, it really was a mistranslation. And so how that actually, I bring that across really, it scares me sometimes. Whether I'm really being able to get that message across.
So now we can go ahead and release those brakes again, right, and put in a little power to get ourselves moving again. And then we'll go ahead and push on the right rudder pedal and slowly just get ourselves on that yellow line there. And what you want to do is keep your heels on the floor, that way you're not pressing on the brakes. Selling ground Cessna 53294 is at the hangar tie down, ready for taxi with Foxtrot. The best thing that we can do during taxi for speed is taxi at a fast-paced walk.
Right. Cabin doors and windows latched.
Okay, so that is. Okay. Do it. You're going to click it once to the left, twice to the left. Okay. There's an airplane coming in to land, so he wants us just to stay here for right now. First, the left aileron goes up. Okay. Then I push this down, and the elevator goes down. See that? Try to get back on the yellow line. Turning to the right. This approach is a little bit high, a little bit fast, but it's not that bad. So at this point, I'm going to start raising the nose up slightly, very slowly. The throttle is at idle. Now I'm just going to bleed off the airspeed and keep the nose coming up. Just keep the nose coming up and let the wheels touch down.
Master switch off.
Okay. Great.
And control wheel lock install.
And that's that thing that goes right here.
That's
So
enough.
we're done.
Great.
Hey, that was a good flight.
A lot of
It's
information.
a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You know, you just, again, it's just that experience and you'll get it down. So
Yeah.
good job.
It's not like driving though.
It's not at all.
It's not. It's a lot
Something that you'll notice is it's really reactive. You know, you barely touch it and it goes.
Yeah,
a lot of people will stomp and just, you know, the airplane will just kind of.
Sure.
So it's just a real nice smooth control. And then on the takeoff,
The thing about Islam, I think that people don't realize is, and especially about the hijab and stuff, is women choose to wear it. It's not something that's forced upon us or we're oppressed. The basic reason for wearing the hijab is it's stated in the Quran that God says it's an obligation for women to dress modestly and just to cover themselves. You know, the first thing you see is this on my head, and you just assume I'm covering my hair, but I always wear, you know, we're always wear long sleeves and long pants and try to wear loose clothing and stuff. I think I feel like once my daughters get older, if they do decide to wear hijab and they're in school and they face similar things that I faced when I was in school, which is, of course, my biggest worry. I do worry that they might not want to wear it when they get older, but I feel very sure that Monim and I are instilling in them very strong values about Islam, and as long as they believe in God, I think that's the most important thing.
I would hope that we're giving them enough instilling enough of a background in them to be able to come to the right decision, which obviously in my opinion would be to wear the hijab. Now, if they didn't wear it, I mean, you know, my mom doesn't wear it, my sister doesn't wear it. There's a lot of people who don't wear it. So, you know, I think the biggest thing is that I really do want them to be grounded in Islam. And I think hopefully if I can do that, then they'll make whatever decisions they need to make.
Well, there are, like everything, you know, there are certain screws that are missing that can be missing and not make any difference in the safety or the performance of the aircraft. But there are others that if they're missing or damaged, then you have to replace them. It's kind of a judgmental call on behalf of the mechanic as to what he thinks is absolutely necessary. But it's not unusual for aircraft to have a screw missing in a cowling or something like that, because there's several hundred screws on an airplane and they don't really use any Loctite or anything like that to hold them in place. So they're bound to rattle loose once in a while.
Is that it?
I guess. I mean, well, are we going to go on a trip for our anniversary?
Yeah, Maldives.
Okay, but if you're going to buy that truck,
Exactly.
well, I think you should get your priorities in the right place.
Which one is the one that you just told me to buy the truck?
I know, but I was thinking about the trip too.
We have to figure out how to get there.
Plane?
No, it's not going to work. I don't think there's a airport, like a large airport you can just fly into.
We can ask Tom Cruise what he did. He went there for his honeymoon.
That's true. I think you should call him up and ask him.
I should. I think you probably just take a boat.
Okay, I'll figure it out. But do you want to go there?
Yeah,
You sure?
I guess. I'd rather go to Paris.
Why do you want to go to Paris? This is European.
So, I've
It's
never
just-
been. The architecture.
It's really not that. That's not good.
Right, that's messed up.
It's okay. It's not.
You're such a liar.
You can go to Spain. You have much more like Islamic architecture there. You can go
I know,
anywhere in
but
the Middle East, like you know.
Why would I want to go anywhere in the
Because
Middle
that has
East?
more history than a lot of places like Europe do.
I know, but I'm not going there for the history. I'm going there for the architecture to see things. Okay, then that's why you should.
This
let me
year alone,
choose
I've done like 4 trips around the world. If you look at the miles.
Okay, then you should let me choose where to go for our anniversary.
But you don't. You want to go to Maldives? It's supposed to be such a beautiful.
Okay, fine. I want to go to Maldives, but will you buy me upgrade?
Not if we take a trip abroad.
Oh my god, dude!
We'll have to
Everything's so
balance
cheap.
priorities.
It is
Priorities.
a priority. When in 10 years we're gonna be married, I think I deserve.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I guess so.
It's a long time.
I know.
Anyway, we have time. We have 6 months to decide. And then we'll figure it out from there.
Alrighty.
Okay?
Yeah.
Alright. So I just got back from one of my flights. And, you know, it's been quite a while. We've had bad weather. I've been traveling. And so, you know, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, you have to really be up there every single day, because what's happening right now is the fact that I'm going up, and a lot of times you're just getting a mental block as to what you're supposed to do. And it doesn't really help that my instructor just asks me questions. I have no idea what he's talking about. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, mixture, fuel rich. Okay. For, you know, a couple of seconds, sometimes we're just sitting there and I'm just looking at him saying, okay, what am I supposed to do now?
What do you think?
Should you pull it out? No, I think it's all the way out. Because if you leave it out, then it leaves it open.
It's actually kind of the opposite. You would think that, right?
And then the flight instructor is kind of a weird character as well.
Really?
You know what happens is that we were sitting there flying, and then he tells me to do something. I have no idea what he's talking about. And so I'm thinking like he should have told me this before, and then he didn't tell me. But he thinks he thinks I'm supposed to know this stuff already. Carb heat, cold. So this one comes out. Okay.
That actually would have the carb heat on like that.
So that carb heat.
That's hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cold.
So what do you say when he tells you to do
I don't know.
something?
I just look at him for 5 minutes and then. Yeah, what am I supposed to say? And I'm like, I don't know. Like after the first, second, or third minute, he'd realize that I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I think he wants me to say it.
Right hand on the throttle, left hand on the ignition, and turn it over until the engine cranks. Okay. And I'll clear the prop. Or you can do it. I'll just have my window open. Okay.
You said do 2 times.
Yeah, but remember to leave it out. Leave it. Now put it in. Whoa.
The only thing that I see as being a slight problem could be just his overall aggressiveness to control the airplane. He's a little timid and lays back a little bit, but I think, you know, it's just a new experience for him, so he's just getting comfortable with feeling out the airplane. And I think the other problem is that we transitioned from a 172, which I think he was getting pretty comfortable with, and now we're going to the Cessna 150, so it's a bit of a change.
We have trouble with people not wanting to fly it sometimes because they call it the devil ship because of the number, the 661 Sierra.
I think as I'm getting more and more flying in, I think I'm realizing that really my dream is not flying itself, but something we had a conversation, Iman and I, about maybe a couple of weeks back, right before I started. And that was one thing she mentioned, which was the fact that, you know, she could never see herself in a plane with me. So my new dream is to actually get Iman to fly with me, rather than just to flying alone.
There's the plane right behind us, so... Okay. We'll just try one more, it's kind of bumpy, so... Okay, I don't know if this is too hard or not, but I don't know if I'm doing the right things. Yeah, we're just getting low every time, so we're gonna really try to keep from doing that. Okay, this is a 45-degree bank. I don't want you to ever exceed 30. Okay, so basically what's happening here is, you know, there's a decent amount of turbulence today. Yeah. And so it's making the plane, it's trying to control the plane. Yeah. And, you know, you just got to be really aggressive right now. Okay. So don't, you know, when it moves, like when it bumps the wing up, put it back. Right, okay. You know, like right there, push it down, you know. Yeah. Don't let it take over. Okay.
703 Echo Mile to ground taxi to Marquis.
December 27th, Wednesday. I just got back from a second day of flying. Yesterday I also went flying. I've been gone for about 9 days when traveling. I was in Dallas, then I went to DC, and then yesterday when I got on board and after I got off, I was a little bit, I'm rusty obviously, but I didn't realize how rusty I was. And so I was telling Matt yesterday that, you know, maybe today we could spend a little bit of time just reviewing everything that we had done, and he thought that wasn't such a good idea.
I just get confused every time. Okay, so what I'm going to do when we get back is just write out everything that we need to do, and so you need to have that memorized when you come in next time. Okay. So that way there's no confusion. And if you need to watch that lesson 3 video again to, you know, go over the ground stuff, do it.
Okay.
Okay? Because we shouldn't be confusing, you know, the terms of crosswind, downwind. Right?
Right.
Key Golf, are you back inbound or are you outbound? Charlie Yankee Golf.
See how that just went like that?
Talk to you later.
That's why you gotta hold it. Hold it.
Oh, gotta hold it. Got all that. Okay, so parking meters required, radios off. Transponder off.
Are the radios off?
I don't think she's ever really said, you know, to me, it's like, Moni, we really need to stop. You're traveling too much. And I think if she really ever said that, I probably would stop. You know, some people say that a lot of, some people are surprised that my life revolves around Islam, and you know, to me, that's kind of like I don't know, that's just who I am. One of the elders that I respect a lot, when we got married, Iman and I, he actually turned to Iman and he gave her a piece of advice, and he said, you do realize that you are Monim's second wife. And she was like really startled, and he said, yeah, I think Islam is his first. So, you know, and what he meant by that, which, you know, he later went on to explain, is that, you know, don't ever, and he gave Iman the advice, don't ever, stop him from doing that, because that's how he feels most happy.
And I believe flying is one of those things that every Muslim who's, wants to fly should be able to fly in the USA.
What if his name was Osama?
If his name was Osama? That's a good question.
Did you have to change your name or anything, or?
You really can't use the name Osama when you're calling people. You say, "Hi, sir, how you doing? This is Osama calling from Oppenheimer & Company," and before you've finished the company's name, they've hung up the phone.
I'd like to meet him.
I've met Osamas in my life that.
Well, that's either that you're joking around, or the sentiment is that, you know, there's just no way. Okay. There's no way this brokerage would have hired somebody named Osama to call clients. So we started using Sam.
Sure. Half
the office knew me as Sam. A portion of the office knew me as Antonio. Mainly the HR people. Compliance, you know, they knew me as Ali. Some guys called me Osama. And so, you know,
if I had something to worry about at home, where she couldn't handle it, or the kids were all, messing up and stuff, I couldn't do this. I'd have to stay home and do that. But, you know, she's the kind of person that I have, she can do it, and I have trust in her that she can do it.
Cover your mouth.
But they tunnel all the way through the ice and make it like Swiss cheese. The pools are like termites. So they must fools drill down through the ice like termites.
You need to go to the bathroom.
And in the case of Greenland,
Leanne, stop.
With the ice and the rock, and that destabilizes the ice. It's sort of like what they call hydroplaning when you drive it.
And this is Osama. He'll be we are opening a Manhattan office. Yeah. Yes, from Houston. That's right. I think I met you last time, right? That's right.
There's an amount of fresh water melting off of Greenland now that's bigger than the whole annual flow of the Colorado River times 10.
So the question is, what becomes, well, Mr. Gore says something similar is also happening in Greenland.
Yeah, let's go back to Greenland. This is with great precision, street by street, block by block, just as they could predict what would happen in New Orleans if the levees failed.
Do you remember what Al Gore said?
Yeah.
About global warming.
Huh?
I think I'm getting sick. Okay. Leanne?
But it's tough. I mean, a lot of times, and one of the things I try to do is the reason why I try to keep myself busy, like from nonstop, from when I wake up in the morning, whether it be breakfast, meeting people, lunch, dinner, until I'm so late at night that I'm so tired that I just go to the hotel and sleep, is because I don't want to think about the loneliness. But I figured out something. So my dream is no longer to fly.
Okay.
My dream is to fly, but eventually to get you on board when I'm flying. That's my dream.
I doubt it. I get afraid of going on a regular plane. No, I would never. You know what? First of all, because I hate flying, period. Like normal big planes. I get motion sickness, and on a little plane, forget it. Yeah, no way. I would never go up with you. And neither will our children.
Abel already said he wanted to go.
I don't care what he said.
He does have some issues on the radio when he gets nervous. He has a slight stutter, and we've kind of worked on that, and I've put a lot of pressure on him, actually, a little more than necessary, to say everything perfectly and exact, hoping that I'll like raise his tension at that moment to see how he deals with it, because when you're by yourself for that first time, of course, it's a little bit of an increased tension moment. So I'm hoping that the extra pressure I put on him is going to pay off when he goes by himself.
So after I got out, Matt told me that that it might be time for me to do a solo.
A what?
So, a solo. That's when I go by myself. So like maybe.
What do you mean, like by yourself?
Without anybody in with me. All the way down the runway. That's called.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. And then you make a left turn and land. And then you can put the jacket on. And then then they do that and then do it another time. Take off, left turn. I think I'm ready.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm ready. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm kind of nervous and scared. I mean, scared, nervous, and excited at the same time. My biggest worry is not even the landing. It's actually talking to tower.
Why is that?
Because I don't know who's on the other side and I start stuttering.
Oh.
So.
Because you get nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just pretend that you know the person on the other side. Just talk to them like you're talking to a friend.
Yeah. But they have code speak. They don't actually speak as.
Well, do you have to know that though? I mean, they know you don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna know if I'm gonna be soloing for the first time or not.
Wait,
but we're not gonna
hang on. So Thursday's your solo? Like as in next week?
No, 2 days. Today's Tuesday. In 2 days.
And your will is all finished and signed, notarized?
I just had a conversation with Iman. I think she took it fairly well. I think she's scared. Probably looks like she's more scared than I am. Now that I'm about 20 hours or so into into my flying, I still get people coming up to me, mostly Muslims, and I tell them, oh yeah, I'm learning how to fly. And you know, the first thing that you hear is, you know, aren't you going to get put on the no-fly list? And really, you know, it's not really frustrating, but I really feel like telling people, you know, look, I'm already 20 hours into it. Nothing's happened to me so far. You know, hopefully, inshallah, I'll be able to finish this thing, and nothing's going to happen to me. So I can really go up to people and tell them, look, you know, the only thing, you know, what are you afraid of?
The most important thing when you deal with the FAA is always be honest with your, especially this form. This is critical. It's a legal document.
Sure.
Okay, we need to make sure it's done correctly.
Okay.
The thing is about flying, it's a privilege, not a right. It's not only a physical examination, it's sort of a forensic or legal evaluation. Do you have a problem with your hearing on that side?
Nope. Well, as much as if somebody covers your ear.
Okay.
You know, if I can hear. There's an eardrum in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's covered.
Okay.
So that's really it.
But you actually, if you put headphones on, you can hear through that on that side?
Yeah.
Oh.
Muffled.
Okay, muffled.
Yeah.
Okay. This is okay. Your vision's excellent with correction, so there's no problem there. You pass a conversational voice test at 6 feet, so that's good. But I will check the standards for the FAA. I've got this nice big book. And then we'll do our exam. And then before you leave, I've got to pull out the FAA medical guidelines and check that.
Okay.
Significant seizures, depression, you don't have any issues with the law that you got your license suspended or revoked, any of that, because they will check on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. It looks like they had some surgery. Did they try and unroof it? Or?
They actually was a little bit more of a growth here, so they took some of it off. And then this was actually a little bit higher, so they kind of lowered it.
They ever thought of trying to, reconstruct the canals?
Well, I figured if I ever lose this year, I'll just put this one on.
Okay. So you got backup, right?
Yeah.
Well, the gods are with us. Okay, one, I was able to get through and talk to the right person who was able to give me an immediate answer. He has a visual abnormality, but not a functional abnormality, and since you passed your whisper hearing, we don't have a problem.
Cool.
So we'll take care of this. We'll issue the ticket today so you can solo tomorrow.
Great.
Okay? And it's a beautiful day to do it tomorrow.
I hope so.
The weather's going to cooperate.
Thanks a lot.
You have a good day now.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I do a lot of scrapbooking, and after the war, I felt like I should journal something in the future for the kids to read. Anyway, and so that got me thinking about what people assume they know about Muslims, or how they, the things they say and stuff. Anyway, so one night I got home and I just started thinking about it, and I just started writing something, and this is what I ended up writing. And I titled it Free to Be. I know what you see when you look at me, but don't you know that there is more to me? I feel the need to jump and plead. Look at me and not at what is covering me.
That's him.
I am Muslim, and this is who I choose to be. I know what you see. Yeah, I am here to tell you that this is not me.
One follow-up and engine number 2, 6661 Sierra.
Hey, that's him. He sounds like a professional. Terrorist, suicide bomber, camel jockey, these are not who I am or what I believe my religion to be. Wait for Bobby. Oh my God. Look at me and you will see I am fun, kind, and trustworthy.
610, we'll make sure to approach runway 34.
Helicopter 30, Reno Tower east or west of the runway center line.
I am sarcastic, funny, and free. Oh, what's he doing?
Darnell Tower, November 555.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Copy 555, Roger, left traffic, runway 16, reports miles off.
One down. I am a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother. A friend. I am an American. This is who I choose to be. Don't tell me to leave. This is my home, and I am free to be.
I mean, I felt fully prepared and confident, you know. I mean, I think that goes to the flight instructor too. You know, I could have done something wrong, and I did do some things wrong, but I was fully confident that I knew what I was doing. Yeah. So that
For
was
a moment there, I thought, that's kind of fun. I want to learn to fly.
Oh, no way.
But then it went away. I was so nervous because I didn't know, like...
What did you think when I was doing the go-around?
I'm very impressed. So William just had his first solo, but what he doesn't know is I think I'll probably go ahead and fly with him one day. Oh, here comes the plane! Probably go up with him. I think that'll be like the ultimate thing. He really wants me to do that. So, very confident in him now. Feel much better about this. Good job. Everything we do for God, right? Isn't that a Bryan Adams song? Everything I do for you. Anyway, never mind. It's for you, but whatever. You can relate it to God. Everything that we do in our lives, we're doing with the best intention and to please God. Live your life as if you're going to live forever, but practice your faith as if you're going to die tomorrow. So, you know, I still think that we should buy chairs, new chairs for our dining room. I want new chairs. But am I going to go into debt for it? Because, you know, debt in Islam is considered, it's not allowed. So, no, I'm not. I think once this documentary is out, like, everyone should get together and buy me new chairs.
The fifth one here is this is valid only for 120 days. Okay. You'll get a permanent one in the mail within that 120 days.
Don't you ever wonder what might be if you live life free? Don't you ever wonder what it's like to fly off the high dive? Don't you think the dreams in you are meant to ever come true? Don't you know that hope's the slaves till you free them and see them through? Can you find a little life in you? Make your days and nights worth living. I'm so nervous. I swear there's more for us to do. There's more for the taking and the giving. Wanna build a kingdom of heaven. Scary. So it's time to lay the foundation. Wanna know my neighbors in the world. Finally lay down idle speculation. This life of mine, ain't the life I had in mind. But if I'm bold enough, wise enough, that I can make this life worthwhile.
Anything wrong, just go and then they come.
I can make this life worthwhile.
Interviewing Matt. Maintaining the wings level, making sure they have the correct rudder control. Then if you're doing a full stall, the nose will drop, at which point you add full power. Raise one notch and flaps up, and then transition back to a climbing attitude.
I've had one engine failure when I was in the air, and that was over Hell's Canyon. But I had a lot of altitude, and I was able to get the engine started again. So it wasn't an emergency in the long run. It was a temporary engine stoppage.
Makes herself the prince and the princess. Jonah says so long to the subway. Buys land just out the city. Builds a school of love and learning for city kids that need something pretty. This life of mine, ain't the life I had in mind. But if I'm old enough, wise enough that I can make this life worthwhile, I can make this life worth mine.
There we go, that's a little better. So power is idle. Stop with the aileron.
Says his new school could use a nice little garden to Jonah. Finds a brand new shop called Kingdom of Heaven. Sarah smiles when she hears the bells on the front door ring. So Sarah thinks this is the beginning of her landscape dreams. Jonah says, hello, can you help me? I'm looking for some help with my school. Sarah says, certainly, we've got just the thing for you. Jonah sees something in Sarah. Sarah sees something there too. 2 years later, Jonah married Sarah, and now more than their dreams came true. This life of mine, this life of mine, ain't the life I had in mind. But if I'm bold enough, wise enough, that I can make this life worthwhile. I can make this life worth a smile.
I think the homeschool thing just wasn't working, and so we can't decide whether we should put him back into public or go towards St. Paul's and do private. They're putting tattoos. You want a tattoo?
A pirate one or some broccoli? How about a broccoli one? That's exciting stuff. You want broccoli?
Yeah. We need a tattoo.
Someday he's going to say, when I was a kid, I put broccoli on my arms.
Ew!
Yeah, that's something to tell your kids someday.
I want a pirate one too. I want a pirate one too.
I still get so emotional when I talk about it. And I was going to ask you, because you used to do homeschooling, and then you did public, and now you're doing St. Paul's. It's a private Christian school, and how strong is that Christian? It's not like we don't believe in Jesus.
Yeah. And then we usually play Star Wars. Yeah.
What? I'm sorry, what do you usually do?
Star Wars and play outside. And watch TV. And play Star Wars Legos. Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm scared. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna grow up and like.
On the boat. On the boat.
On the boat.
Couldn't count. There we go.
So we're gonna take the board members' wives out for a spin out on the bay and take a look at Bellingham. Luckily, we really lucked out today with some nice weather. So
is this usual for you to have sort of friends here? And
no, I have no friends.
Austin.
Oh yeah,
you
go
want
ahead.
to sit
Go
on the
ahead.
outside, or I can sit on the
You
outside.
can switch.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
Are you going to be warm enough?
Yeah. This is good. I'll be like, oh no, the weather doesn't look that bad. Or before he goes out, he'll call, and every time I'm like, yes.
It's been canceled.
And he gets so upset. Like, he doesn't get so upset, but he'll be like, man, I didn't get to fly today. I'm like, oh really? That's too bad. I feel bad. Like, I mean, I totally support him, but I just get so scared.
I would love to learn to fly it myself.
Really?
Yeah, but I would not try it myself.
Yeah, no.
Not try it now?
No.
I mean, were you thinking of it before?
No,
But
like,
now you just really
like
feel
just now when we saw that clipping from
Yeah.
him, I said, oh my God, I want to do that.
But I guess he got this alert or whatever happened.
Who got that alert?
The guy at the ticket counter.
Oh, okay.
So I go, what was that all about? And he's like, oh, your son's name came up as someone that just came out of the Al-Qaeda training camp. And I was like, you're kidding, right? Like, I thought he was kidding. And he's like, no, really, there's, Abdullah Salam. I think it's going to be the generation, like, your children, my kid, us, our age, that's probably going to make that change, hopefully, right? Because we're born here, we know the way that people are saying.
Maybe we have to just do our part.
Yeah.
And the people in America, generally speaking, who are not Muslims, will have to do their part.
Right.
They will have to come up with a group will come up probably who will will work against this prejudice. Because if you say, "Oh no, I'm not bad, I'm good," no matter how much you say, like how
no
can you
matter
defend
what I
yourself?
do.
And whatever you say, you're defending yourself, so you're like your self-interest involved in it.
What I wish is more, if people felt more comfortable just, coming up to me or you in the mall or in the street, and saying, I hope you don't mind me asking, but what does it mean, or what does this mean?
We have to connect with the hearts of the people in America, and so, to show them that we are on their side in the sense that we want to protect them from any this kind of activity from Muslims. Sometimes I think like if Prophet Muhammad was here, Prophet Jesus was here, what would they tell us all to do? How would we collaborate? How would we work together? How would we rise from all these?
This is his line.
Is that allowed for him to do that?
But I didn't know you could extend them
dang
across the
terrorists!
whole
They
entire,
were about to hit my fish. Sorry.
So this is my friend Mary Burgess. She lives across the street. She was actually also my doula for Rayanne's birth, so she's a really good friend. So I brought her over to model some scarves because I always get asked this question: how do you wear your scarf? Or is there a special way? Is there a special color? As far as color goes, there is no specific color that you have to wear. It's basically whatever matches your outfit. Basically, I wear the standard square-shaped scarf, and I buy these at conventions. I just stock up on them because there really isn't anywhere to get them. Sometimes you'll find them at like department stores if they're the right size. There you go. So I take it, it's square, I make it into a triangle, like that. And then because I wear Georgette, it's slippery, so I usually like to wear a headband underneath. So do you want to put it on? Or? Okay, so we'll put that on first. So there you go. Like you're gonna get a facial, except you're getting something else. Anyway, and then I just throw it on, and then just fix it, even it out, and
I've always wanted to know how you do that.
So, and then some people wear really decorative pins. I take these simple ones. Some people wear them on the outside, which I think is tacky. So the Muslims that are watching this, wear your pins on the inside. And I just take it, pin it through, so I'm getting both. It's kind of hard to do on another person, but. And then I just take it and tie it right here. And cross them and flip it over your head. And then there you go. And that's the easy way to wearing this style of scarf.
How does it look?
It looks great. My mom is going to see this and she's going to be like,
close-ups of her hands while she's.
He couldn't get off yesterday either, so.
Yeah, it was right after we got done flying, so I just figured the heat had kind of sealed it shut. Should be free by now. I don't know. I'd like to check the oil, but. No.
Ice cream?
I'll show you.
Just tell me.
This one.
You sure?
Yes.
Sweetie, and you want that one too?
Yeah. Happy feet. Little happy feet.
Front parcel, extra card on check stand 8, please. Front parcel, extra card on 8.
Get out. Time to get out. Come on. Come, get your body out first. Go sit on the bench.
Okay. Okay, I'll get something. Okay, now can I show? Yes?
Later. Thanks.
Mama, when?
Look at this. Not fooling around in practice, so when the other kids come down, they don't fool around either, and they follow your example, okay? See, I teach everybody as if they're gonna be a black belt. Even Abdallah. No, absolutely, he's a good hard worker. Well, my understanding of any religious vow is that you give yourself up. It's worship, you see. So, in that sense, you surrender forward when your hips come off the floor, like so. I don't do this, so please forgive me if I'm not expert. But in karate, the idea is self-containment. It has no religious implications, and you don't give yourself over to the other person. So your hips stay on the ground, on your heels, your hands are in front, your hips never leave the heels, and you look over at the person that you're bowing towards. So it's strictly respect, but respect for the self first, you see. So it's entirely different than a religious vow. And the fact that Monim was clearly confident that he could explain that to his son, I thought was actually rare.
Scissor. Red. Oh, they got glass.
How are you? Say os. How are your pants doing?
Good.
Can you stay up?
Puss.
Coming down?
Puss.
All right, just take a break for a second. Hold this up. Oh, that's not too bad. Hold this back. Arauco. Go faster now. Shichi. Straighten up. Hachi. A little stronger now. Kyo. That's good.
All right, so this is a Sunday morning. We're actually going up to Mount Baker, which is about a 45-minute drive from here, maybe an hour. We're going to go try out some snowboarding.
We're heading to Mount Baker. We're going to do some snowboarding. It's going to be important because I'm there.
Osama here, a friend of mine from New York, is actually an expert snowboarder, and so he's going to be, teaching me how to do it. I just called to say I love you.
Yesterday, country road, take me home.
it's raining a lot and a lot of mist and fog. So, I mean, I guess it's only about 38 degrees. I'm checking in the car temperature here. So it's not, I mean, temperature-wise it's okay, but pretty lousy otherwise. There's not very many people out here today, so that's, I guess, on the positive angle of it. After all the stuff we went through, as far as trying to go, not going to go, I think I'm glad that we're up here. It's really turned out to be a good day. Snow's really good. The benefit that Islam brings to snowboarding is patience, because we're taught to be very patient. So as you're falling down, you keep getting frustrated. You gotta make sure that you're patient about learning how to do it. The second thing being, you're allowed to be able to appreciate the beautiful nature that's around us. Although it's fast, depleting, but hopefully even a couple of generations from now, people will be able to enjoy it. Oh, definitely, I think if I had to pick between flying and snowboarding, for the falling itself, I'd probably put flying over snowboarding, but this is a lot of fun too, so I don't know, maybe I'd do both.
He's doing just fine. We're making progress, turning corners, moving forward. America's built on this.
So, what is it?
Vanilla cream. Keep going. You know what? The one thing about Indianapolis is, remember, like in the Patriots game, they actually came back in the second half.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The first half they did lousy. So.
Right. That's right.
Oh wow!
Oh, look at that! I thought
that's an open field, man.
They spend so much time game planning just for that one guy, And the first play, you're just like, well,
there you go. Oh man! See, it's the Muslim power. It's rubbing off on all the other players that are making them win the game.
Comb your hair. Do you want them to think Muslims are dirty?
وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون.
What's he got in that bag? Oh my God. What's he got in that bag?
I wanna live live in a land called paradise. I wanna go to the valley of the King. I wanna live in a land called paradise. Wanna see the birds fly and I wanna hear the angels sing the praises of my Lord so far above. As I move poetically with struggle, I fall in love. I look to the left, I look to the right, and all I gaze upon reveals the source of flowers, rainbows, and the dew at dawn. Some see before and some see in and some see after. I let my sight pierce the chains and see the master. I wanna live in a land called paradise. I wanna go to the valley of the King. I wanna live in a land called paradise. Wanna see the birds fly and I wanna hear the angels sing. So many times in my life I ask myself the question, what got me, brought me into all this mess I'm swimming in? But pain is not and neither harm in the pool of bliss. So slap me with your hand or kiss me with your softest kiss. Tell me that you love me or that you don't like me now. Tell me you invite me or that you don't want me around. I won't cry over a world that can't change my life. I'll put my money on what lies ahead in paradise. I wanna live in a land called paradise. I wanna go to the valley of the King. I wanna live in a land called paradise. Wanna see the birds fly and I wanna hear the angels sing. Try to do right and love my wife and trade and pray and talk. I can be anywhere, do anything, and a mind full of God. I'm pleased and good and happy and harmony. Now I realize that I already live in a land called paradise. I wanna live in a land called paradise. I wanna go to the valley of the King. I wanna live in a land called paradise. Wanna see the birds fly and I wanna hear the angels. I wanna live in a land called paradise. I wanna go to the valley of the King. I wanna live in a land called paradise. Wanna see the birds fly and I wanna hear the angels sing. Wanna hear the angels sing. Oh.